What is going on, guys? My name is German. Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, as always, leave your boy a like and a subscribe. And today we got ourselves the tier list. We're going to be updating the EZA TUR tier list with our guy STR JIREN today. Now, first and foremost, the most important thing to always remember with these tier list videos is that number one, this is just my opinion, right? At the end of the day, we all have differing opinions on units and stuff like that. If you say a unit like, oh, I think STR Rose completely destroys every single EZA in the game, I honestly peak opinion, to be honest with you. If you say STR Rose good, I trust it. But obviously, yes, we're all going to have different opinions on units. So this is just how I currently feel about these units in game. Number two, this is going to be based off the hardest fights in the game. Zamasu, Omega, and basically the Dismal Future Red Zone. So yes, unfortunately, there is other difficult content, but I feel like the entirety of the Dismal Future Red Zone and then Omega is a good way to kind of base these units. Now, there are other fights, the Metal Cooler Core, Dragon Ball Super Broly. There are fights there that matter, Cell Max. But out of the major difficulty, if these characters can handle themselves against Zamasu, and Goku Black, they could pretty much handle themselves against most other difficult bosses in the game. So this is what the tier list is going to be based off. I did make some slight adjustments from the last tier list to kind of make this based. So starting with the fodder tier, these characters will almost always get you killed. There's no reason in running them, right? You can beat runs with them, obviously, but the majority of the time they're going to get you killed. E tier, I just have Int UI Goku. At this point, you could even put Int UI Goku down here, but that transformed UI Goku is probably still very high up, but you have to get there. It's not difficult to get there, but it's kind of annoying in a way, because you have to run this guy, and this guy sucks. Int UI sucks. Then we have the D tier. D tier can still work, right? Rose, Vegito, Super 17, they can still work, but they're probably going to get you killed in the majority of fights. Unfortunately, yeah. This guy against Omega, he still can get you killed. And then Rose is not even that good after his 200%. So, and Super 17, same issue. C tier characters are just decent. Oh, not even decent. They're like to bad to decent range, which these three are just the early 2022 EZA TURs. Which Gohan is probably the best out of all of them because he still has the guard and then Vegeta, but they're not really like gonna get you anywhere, right? B tier characters are characters that you're pretty much gonna be running the majority of the time, right? They're kind of like just filler characters to finish up that last slot. I think this works. This was the original A tier, right? A tier was kind of like a mix mash of just Metal Cooler all the way, which was all A tier. I personally just these six right here just drop them down to a B tier because they're not really great. Broly is not good. We all know about this guy. Kid Goku is, Bardock, same issue. They're all kind of just characters. Gogeta's probably the best out of all of them, so I'll put him up to the higher tiers. A tier characters are decent characters that you can run still. Cooler, Metal Cooler. Cooler can get destroyed, but he's still pretty good. Metal Cooler, same thing, the heal and stuff like that, very good. Namek Goku, Golden Frieza. Boo. I am a Boo hater, but it's not because he's a bad unit. It's just, well, this form right here, STR Super Boo is bad, but Buuhan is insane, right? Boo Piccolo is pretty good. Transforming Vegeta, Gohan, I could probably move Gohan down at this point. S tier characters are some better characters right here, right? 17, Gogeta, Vegito is invest in this physical Super Vegito because those AoEs seem like the way they want to do difficult content. He will survive those very good. Trunks in base sucks, but Super Saiyan Trunks is decent. Z tier are some of the better characters in the game, and then Z plus are like insane. Like these are the best of the best. So let's go ahead and dive down into our guy STR JIREN that I've explained the tier system. I did move around. I do think post the androids, Kaioken Blue and 17 both have gotten majorly buffed. I do think at this point now I could very easily just put Beerus, Kaioken Goku, and Piccolo. I think Piccolo is good, but Piccolo can take a lot of damage. Having that Scouter, though, is very effective. But at this point, these two just kind of out-damage Piccolo, and then they can tank a little bit better than Piccolo, if you get what I'm saying. So, without further adu, fellas, let's go ahead. Oh, well, that's a spoiler. Yeah, Jiren doesn't crack the top 10. So, Jiren, I'm going to put in the A tier. A tier, B tier. I could literally go either way. I do think he's just not good enough, right? God damn it. Here's the top 10. Whatever. He doesn't crack the top 10. So Jiren, let's go ahead and talk about some things about Jiren that kind of suck. Jiren is designed for Super Battle Road. If you guys didn't get it, way back when Jiren first came out back in 2018, he was designed for Super Battle Road, and they made his EZA designed for Super Battle Road. So You understand? It doesn't help him that sub EZAs that released in this celebration are better than him, right? I think Imp Bona Magetta is way better than this unit. So let's go ahead and talk about what's really issue. He does amazing damage. He does do pretty decent damage because he's right against all types. This just should have been given to him. I don't know why they even bothered to make the 2 or more enemies, because the only time you ever get this active is against like the red zone gammas, you know? This is just ridiculous too as well. There's no tournament participants or USS category enemies. There is one, right? There is one, and I got a comment about this in my initial Jiren showcase. Red zone, you know, perfect form cell is a tournament participant. That's it. That is it. An almost year-old red zone stage is the only tournament participant fight that he could even get this active that's relevant in a way, but it's not really relevant. You get it? So it's just a lot of numbers and stuff like that. Like, you see his kit, and it's like, yeah, if this was against one enemy, you know, he'd have something. You leave him in slot 2, he at least has a 30% damage reduction to survive these major AoE attacks. He wouldn't survive a super attack, no way, but, you know, he would at least have something to fall back on. Then, this is another issue right here. You're not gonna get stuns off. You're not. You're not. This guy's the red zone cell killer, right? The red zone perfect form cell killer, because you can stun red zone perfect form cell, and you can get the tournament participant. This guy's just the red zone cell murderer. Even though he takes a lot of damage still. He takes so much damage. It's not worth running this character. When you really think of it, it's just not, right? Jiren doesn't have a 200% leader skill either, right? So we're not even at his best potential, but his skeleton sucks. Like, his kit is awful. It's built around content we don't have. Content that you can stun, content that you could have 2 or more enemies, and content where you're fighting a Universe Survival Saga or tournament participants. Now, I do think that Universe Survival Saga is going to be getting a major celebration at some point. I personally would think New Year's would be an awesome pick, would be the Universe Survival Saga. I don't know about Anniversary. I would personally prefer Superhero for Anniversary, but if we do get USS, I wouldn't be too mad about it, right? Just some way to give this guy away, you know, but unfortunately, it just doesn't work out that way. So, Jiren, unfortunately, got completely destroyed this celebration. I don't think he's particularly great. His linking partners are all terrible, right? Like, the best linking partner that he has, oh my god, is Gamma 1. I was going to say UI Goku, but then Gamma 1 showed up. Good thing. But they only shared the one category, which is Defenders of Justice. I don't know about you, but I don't think I'm running STR Videl as my lead in 2023. You know? I just don't think that STR Videl is going to be a worthwhile investment for you to run this guy in Gamma 1 as a rotation, right? Maybe in the future, once we get an actual Defenders of Justice leader, like, oh, I don't know, maybe exchange Gammas, you know? 200% lead. Carnival exchange Gammas, 200%. Then we could start talking, but, I mean, this guy sucks regardless, right? He just sucks. He just sucks. I mean, sorry to cut it short, fellas, but that's pretty much it. Jiren is not really worth anything, right? I could really put him down here. I'm going to put him here because I have Goku Black up here, and Goku Black, I could just be honest with you, could probably just go down to C as well, right? Again, these units really aren't, like, ranked in terms of how much better they are than each other. I do think that the characters that are leading the rows, though, are the best EZAs of that row. Well, I guess in this scenario, this doesn't really matter too much, right? The D tier. Basically, D tier and down shouldn't matter too much. C tier and down shouldn't matter too much. It's B tier that should matter. B tier up should matter a little bit better. But that's been it for me, fellas. This is the top 10 right here. Zamasu is still number 1. Zamasu, they did something with Zamasu that cannot be replicated, man. I mean, it can be, but they're choosing not to replicate it, right? In Future Gohan is still an amazing EZA. Beerus is insane for this new content, right? Omega, I mean, not Omega, Kaioken Blue is also pretty good for this after the androids. Same thing, like, I've made a lot of major changes from my last tier list video, so, from my last EZA tier list, so, Zamasu and Gohan are still number 1 and 2. I think Beerus is ridiculously powerful. Kaioken Blue at 4, Piccolo at 5, 17-6, Gogeta at 7, Vegito stocks, start investing. That's all I gotta say. Start investing into this Super Vegito, because this Super Vegito, if the way content is gonna go is they're gonna make AoE content, this guy will kill it. Now, I'm not gonna defend him too much because he does take like 500k on a super, so just be careful. Trunks, unfortunately, the problem with Trunks is that base is just terrible. That's it. And then Cooler at 10. So there you guys have it. There's been it for me. I will see you guys in the next one. Leave your boy a like and subscribe.